Oh my gosh, you guys, spring has sprung. By next weekend, this whole hillside will look like this.
um, Little gardening trowel I have. It's got the red rubber handle and it's like cast aluminum. It's real heavy.
Well, what do you think? Is it not beautiful out? It is absolutely stunning right now, and I think it's in the 60s. Unfortunately, we're not done with the rain. It's coming back in this week, but today it is beautiful and I am loving it. I am so ready for spring. Fall and spring are my two favorite seasons. So we're ready. And my husband's been working outside all day. We're we have an above ground pool. It's a big one. And we used to have a really large trampoline as well back there for the kids, but they've kind of outgrown it. They're teenagers and stuff. But what we're going to do is we take it down every year. It's such a chore. But we would like to build like a deck around it. And so my husband's getting the ground ready. We're going to put like gravel out and try and build some kind of stationary like bar around it. We'll see. But yeah, he's just working, getting it all ready because probably by let's see, March, April. Yeah, we usually put it up around April. It starts getting warm enough. So, yeah, he's busy working with that. And I wanted to share a few things with you. Mainly, I wanted to talk about kindness because I think more than ever, we need kindness. I'm using both cameras, so I'm going to go back and forth between the two. Um, but yeah, right now, I think it is just so important because we're seeing a lot of unhappy people. And you know what I say? Unkind people are usually the most unhappy, and they're the ones that need our kindness. And the reason that I'm bringing this up is because I don't know if you all saw, but yesterday I found out that Jack Morgan featured me on his one of his channels. He has two channels. He has this big one, and then he has a newer, smaller one. But still, he gets a lot of views. And I had just noticed that I was getting a lot of subscribers within like an hour. I had gotten like 30 new subscribers, and I was like, "Wow, is that because of my last video? Was it that good?" No, but I did get somebody commented on that my post and said, "Oh, shout out to Jack Morgan for turning me on to your channel." And I was like, "What? I don't know who Jack Morgan is, but I'm glad to have you here. Thank you." And he goes, "You don't know who Jack Morgan is?" And he put a link down, and so I click on it, and it pops up, and I was like, "Oh no." I could see that he was a young guy and he had all these different videos and some that I watch and he critiques them. And I thought, oh, this could be bad. This young guy, I think he's a millennial, and it was my most controversial video where I talk about my husband losing his job after 30 years, which got a lot of, different feedback. And I was like, this isn't going to be good. I don't know if I want to watch it. But he was very kind. It was very nice. And I really appreciate it. And most of the comments were even nice. But of course, there's a few. It's YouTube. Never are you going to get a video where everybody's kind. That's just the way it is. So, and like I said, as you get older, it's so weird because when I was younger, things like that would bug me. Now, when people are being unkind, that's the first thing I think of is they're unhappy. And online, it's so easy to hide behind your keyboard and say whatever you want because the person's never going to see you. And especially people that say crude and inappropriate things. I think, would you say that to your mother or your grandmother? Shame on you. But there's no point in commenting to people like that. They're too far gone. I can't, reach them. But um, I usually, when people are unkind, depending on what they say, sometimes you got to ignore it because nothing you say is going to change that. So I'm really careful about the ones that I respond to, but I try to at least um, give them a response, and I'm always kind. That's just my personality. I'm never rude. I've never been purposely rude. I've been thoughtless, and I've apologized for it later because I really don't ever want to hurt anybody's feelings. Does that make people feel good? I can't imagine purposely wanting to hurt somebody's feelings or saying something mean. If they're doing something that's inappropriate, I might call them out, but you can still do things in a nice manner. But to just be rude or ornery, that's just not productive. I just don't understand that mindset unless, like I said, the person is just truly that unhappy. And right now, there are a lot of unhappy people. And, I can see why. I had one subscriber recently, and right away when she joined my channel, she was negative. Always. No matter what I posted, no matter what I said, always negative. And sometimes she would make a comment and then she'd erase it, but it would still show up. And then when I click on it, it was gone. So she would think about things, and I think she'd realize, well, that was a little too negative, and she'd erase it. But then they started getting increasingly negative to the point where they were becoming rude. And I knew right away, this lady, girl, I don't know how old she was very, very unhappy because just by the things she was saying, she didn't have family. She was, how I pointed out that this is the time to nurture relationships. You might have to depend on family or move in with them. And she's like, not everybody has family, and not everybody's close to them. You shouldn't, mention these things. They're not viable options for everybody. And I said, yes, you're right. They're not for everybody. Just take it with a grain of salt. If that one doesn't work for you, go to the next. And then she'd get mad at the next option. Well, that's not, and I was like, I understand. That's okay if that's not for you. And she goes, well, why don't you mention these options? And so I said, okay, yeah, I'll mention, because those are options as well. But it's still, nothing made her happy. And then she started being rude to other subscribers. And I thought, you know what? I've been trying to pull her up, but it's easier to pull somebody down. And it's like, I got to let her go. And I hate doing that. But I had tried to, I mentioned it to her nicely, and she just couldn't. She just couldn't find it in her heart to be kind or to be nice. Or, you don't even, I don't expect you to be like phony or anything. Just don't be so angry or rude. Think about what you're writing, for goodness sake. Other people are going to see this, and then when they would respond in kind, she would get upset. So yeah, I had to let her go. But it's important. It opens up dialogue when you're kind. When you're rude, it shuts things down right away. Nobody wants to have a conversation with you. If you want to have a conversation, you need to be mutually respectful, and you need to be nice. People feel safer when you're nice. They're more likely to open up to you. I had a situation years ago when I worked in fast food, and I was new, and there was this girl there, and she's beautiful, and she was just so mean to me. And I was new, and I was already nervous, and she was just so quick with me, just short, and everything I did was wrong, and she embarrassed me in front of customers. It was just horrible. And I just, I tried to be nice. I was scared, for one thing. So I was very timid, and I just took it, and finally, after this went on for a few weeks, I realized, if we're going to continue working together, I can't do this. This is miserable. So I just confronted her. I was like, why? Did I do something that I'm not aware of? Because I do. I can be thoughtless sometimes, but let me know. I'll correct it. And I can't remember what it was exactly, but from that point on, we became very good friends. I realized she had a very tough exterior, but underneath it all, she was extremely sensitive. And she just needed me to call her out on it. And that, that's the way it is. Sometimes you just have to call people out on their behavior. But it's funny because I find that, a lot of the younger people that are coming to my channel are very sweet. And you would think, if it was a generational thing, well, we were raised in our generation to be more polite, to be kind, that, the younger people would be the ones that are more rude, but it's not always the case. There's a lot of people my age and older that are very nasty, and they're very unhappy as well. So, but yeah, I'm finding that a lot of the young people like this Jack Morgan can be very kind, and maybe it's just they were brought up right, or they're from a different part of the country. I always say people from the Midwest are more polite and more kind. I live in Southern California, and they're just not known for that. But that's not fair, because not all Southern California people are that way. They just come off very cold and indifferent sometimes. And if you show them a little kindness, they really open up. So it is important. If you want to, make a change in this world, just be kind to people. You would be surprised the difference it makes. And even when you respond to people in the comments, it just makes such a huge difference. It opens up dialogue. And even if you disagree with each other, because, I don't always agree with other people's opinions and they don't always agree with me, but some of them are just so nice. And I can tell they don't have the same beliefs as I do, but they're just kind. And it makes such a difference. And those are the people that, those are my people. That's my tribe. You don't have to be the same on the same spiritual path as me. You don't have to have the same political beliefs as me. But if you have a good heart, that's what I look for. I look for people that are kind, and they're just so much more enjoyable to talk with, aren't they? So yeah, if you get a chance to go see that video, I would appreciate it, and leave a comment. Like I said, he was very nice about it. He made me feel really good. So, and if you're new to my channel and you came from him, I'm glad to have you here. I wish I had more young people here. Most of my demographic is between 55 and 64. And it was predominantly women, but the analytics show that it's evening out. I have both men and women now. So that's nice because I like to have different points of view. I like to hear from different sides. But yeah, I would appreciate, hearing from younger people too, because most of the subjects I talk about are things that I think they should be aware of and might want to learn from. I do have some wisdom in my old age, not much, but I'm getting there. So anyway, I'm going to get back to working on my resin. I'm working on these cards, and I just think they're absolutely beautiful. I don't know if you can see them. Can you see them over there? I really need to use that one. But anyway, okay, I'm going to let you guys go. Oh, if you remember, tomorrow morning, I'm doing a live at 10 o'clock with my friend and author. She writes books on having relationships with people that are on the spectrum. And she's funny and enlightening, and I think it's going to be a great conversation. So I hope you'll tune into that. 10 o'clock tomorrow morning. I will hopefully see you all there.